Hey, butter, swing. I got to just do my thing. I don't dance. I know you can. Ooh, play ball.
Wow.
Okay. Finally. We've got this. We've got this shit. Okay. I just did about an hour of tech shit that I don't know how to do.
Was it about an hour?
I reckon so.
That's crazy.
At least a half hour.
At least we know for next time.
And a half hour is basically an hour.
Oh, yeah, if you round up. Half an
Yeah.
hour.
You round up if it's 5 or over. That's half. And half of an hour is 30. 30
Is 0.5 of...
30 is the 5 of 10 of 60, which is how much... Okay, anyway.
That doesn't make
hi,
sense.
welcome to... Can you do the introduction?
Well, I can't remember what it's called now.
Forgot the name of
No, wait, I've got it, wait.
Oh,
We'll
look
cut
how
this out.
loud we're getting. I like being able to watch it, you know.
Okay. Oh, no, I changed it.
Press pause.
Press pause.
We're called
Okay.
Press Pause.
Hello.
Welcome. We're GRZLY.
We're press pause.
This is Press Pause. I'm gonna start crying.
This is press pause.
Yeah, this is Press Pause. I'm Ted.
I'm Kai.
And we're gonna talk about movies. Specifically today, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, we're only talking about one today.
And I'd just like to appreciate, quickly, how good my microphone is. It may have taken a lot of fuss, but we are sat so far away from it. And look at that. We
Yeah.
look so loud on the squiggities.
Yeah, look at that. My cough.
On ancient audacity. Okay, anyway. Sorry, we're getting off course and we only just started.
Alright. You got your questions?
I do.
No. We should make a post-it note, you know, of our
do.
questions. So we remember them each time.
I just realised.
Mm.
Oh, don't worry. Okay.
What?
So, today, for the first time, Kai watched...
Dazed and Confused.
I need to cough. I'm turning to you.
It's okay, I can edit that out. And that one.
Why would you edit out my cough? My cough is sexy. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
Dazed and Confused for the first time. One of my mother's... Probably my mother's favourite movie of all time.
You reckon?
I reckon so.
Not, like, Helter Skelter. I think she enjoyed that.
I don't think she did, you know. I was talking... She seemed like she was enjoying it when we were watching it. And then when I talked about it afterwards, she was like, I didn't really think about it much after it was over.
Oh.
I was like, alright, bitch. What? I should call my mother a bitch. Alright, girl. Alright, queen. Alright, my
Queen.
saviour who birthed me.
There we go.
I appreciate...
Show your respect.
I appreciate... Can you cut out that I called her
Yes, I'll call out.
the B word? Maybe cut out most of the swear words so that maybe eventually when... Actually, no one's going to watch this. Let's be real. I was going to say we can be monetized, but no one's going to watch it.
It's fine. Okay.
We don't need people to watch. Okay. But yeah, I've been watching this child repeatedly since I was a child, and every time my mum pauses it to what?
You said I've been watching this child repeatedly since I was a child.
Ah, see, this is why I need to edit this so I don't sound dumb.
No, I won't keep you sounding dumb, I promise.
Just cut out everything I say.
This is why you can't edit it, because you
used
will
to
just cut out
watch-
everything you say.
I used to watch this all the time. As a kid.
Yeah.
Guys, it's late. I'm tired again.
Yeah, it's late. We're chill. It was good.
Yeah,
I really
I
enjoyed it.
wish I
I think it was very good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Opinion of yours there. Okay, so we're gonna start off. This is such a mess. We're gonna start off with, I reckon. What do you think? I reckon characters. Even though that's really vague and it's not gonna be like in order of where you find things.
Yeah. Okay. We can start with characters. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna start off talking about some of the characters in this show.
Yeah.
Because I think that is like, I think it's very important because the problem with this show is that it's set in the 70s. Not a lot of people are gonna do very likable things.
That's true.
You know? And so you have to hold on to what you can hold on to in this movie. And I'll tell you,
It's true.
it's like 2 or 3 characters, if we're being real.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I like characters for different reasons as well, I think.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, a large role on whether I like a character is if they're attractive, but sometimes I
hate to
try
admit
not
it,
to let
but
that
yeah.
part be a part of it. Yeah, I hate to admit it too.
It
It's
just is though. Just can't help it.
because I say it and my dad's like, oh, whatever, and I'm like, it's true though. Like, murder's a little bit more forgivable in a character, not in a real person, obviously, but in a character.
In a character.
If it is, anyway, we haven't actually said any characters' names.
Go on.
So I'm gonna go first.
Go on.
My favourite character in this whole movie is Randy, also known as Randall Floyd, also known as Randall Pink Floyd, also known as Randall Pink,
Also Pink.
also Pink,
In the
also
credits.
Floyd.
Just Pink. Yeah, just
They credited him as Pink,
just Pink.
but they never just call him
I
Pink.
know. I was shocked.
Because
I didn't know it was Pink was a name until your mum said it. And I was like,
I
oh, didn't
heard
hear
them
Pink.
say, I heard them call him Randall Pink,
Mm.
and I heard them call him Randall Pink Floyd,
Yeah.
but they never called him Pink. So I think it's interesting that they were crediting him as that. It feels like they were trying to be like, look guys, they call him Pink. You know what I mean?
Like, promise you, it does happen.
Like what you said about the other thing. Drawing of the
Oh, the drawing
yeah.
of weed, and then it like trying to make
Yeah, I
things obvious
feel like
about that, like, oh, this film has drugs in it, and like they're talking about drugs and drugs
They're
is
talking
there.
about drugs. These guys are stoners, guys.
Yeah,
And
it's
you,
their entire personality
you know how you know someone's a stoner is when they have drawings of weed leaves
in their notebooks.
in their notebooks.
In school, you know, that's what they do.
Yeah,
It's showing that they care about drugs more than school.
the kids these days, man.
Kind of like the premise of the movie, kind of when they talk about
Yeah,
things.
I mean, this is something I would really like. I think is really important in this movie is how big of a divide there is. I guess it does. I guess another thing is just that a lot of time's passed, so I wouldn't fully understand. But the divide between, like, at least how I imagine British schools would have been at the time compared
Definitely.
to how they present the American school. Like, British schools, they don't be like that.
No,
They don't. Like,
you're right.
the most people do in our school was, like, maybe smoke weed in, like, a bush
Mm.
or vape in class. But they're literally, like, in school using bongs in the science room.
Well, the teacher's like right there. Yeah.
And, like, good for them. But, and then also just, like, but then in that way it seems like they're normalising it. But then in other ways it seems like they think it's a way more, like, risky, cool thing.
Well, you know how your mum was saying about how she was talking about the premise of it making fun of,
Yeah.
like, how schools were run by kids, I guess,
Yeah.
in the 70s, because it was made in the 90s. Like, maybe that is part of it. Like, they're talking about how...
Look, back then we all thought that it was,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Like-
it could be a part of it.
And they're just, like, poking fun at it more than, like, trying to show it as, like, the normal,
Yeah.
you know? Because I don't know. Maybe.
That was a side rant, but I'll also say in more ways I think that like it is like kind of different to us when we get to like scenes and stuff. But reasons I like Randy,
Yes.
I think Randy kind of starts off not seeming it and then slowly becomes the main character of the movie.
Yeah, you're
For
right.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of like I'm trying to think of like a similar situation.
I don't know.
I was thinking of one.
Look, no, yeah, lost it.
And then I completely lost it. But there are definitely movies like it, you know, where there's like the fun friend,
Yeah.
and then fun friend slowly becomes complete main focus of the film
Yeah, definitely.
and the most important person in the film. And I think that... Oh! Atlanta. That's my example, is how as it goes on, it goes from Ern being the complete focus to in the last season, you barely see Ern.
Yeah.
Low key, because I guess it's supposed to be like representing how like he gets a busy life, you know. And then Darius in the last episode,
Well, yeah,
it's all his
it is-
mind.
Yeah,
it's
so
all his.
I think it.
Yeah.
It's
It's like,
could
yeah.
be representing like how he gets busy, but but I
But
think
also just
it's
showing
like,
the relevance of Darius
yeah,
as they
and
realise
how-
that he's a favourite character and he has a lot more potential as a character.
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
think obviously it's not the same because this isn't a show, it's a film, so they pre-made it. They didn't decide as things were coming out. But
yeah,
Randy, I think, obviously I knew it was going to happen because I watched it a lot of time, but I think I'm really glad that Randy was the character they really like focusing on, because
yeah, definitely.
you can't tell there's anything special about him until near the end. Randy's sweet, and he's lovely, and
I think, like, especially like how he interacts with like characters as well.
Yeah,
is like a really big.
All of them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because it's like obviously when I feel like we should explain better who the people are, but it's hard to do that. If you're listening to this and you haven't watched Dazed and Confused, watch Dazed and Confused, but also listen to this anyway because
after
we need listeners, guys. Like, so after Mitch, who is a freshman for the listeners.
Yeah.
Freshman Mitch gets beaten, which I will get into. I have to fully get into that. We're not getting into that yet. He gets beaten by the seniors.
Yeah.
And
with like, what are they called? What are the type of bats?
Baseball bats.
Yeah.
Baseball bats.
They decorate them and everything.
Yeah,
they
which
go all
is
out
cute.
with that.
Oh no, baseball bats are round, aren't they?
No.
Cricket bats.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
I swear
Should
baseball.
I Google it?
Yeah, I swear baseball bats. They're like low-key spherical.
They are cricket bats.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. Look up baseball bat. Maybe they're both like it.
No, I think you're right.
I'm not certain. I just remember the baseball song.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I told you it's spherical. No, for all of you who have watched High School Musical, the entire time, any baseball thing was mentioned, my brain was going, hey, butter, hey, butter, swing. I got to just do my thing. I don't dance. I know you can. Ooh, play ball.
Wow, that was beautiful.
I had to skip it into like a medley of all my favourite bits. I couldn't
when they like pick a scene, pick a bit from in the podcast and they put it right at the beginning. That's what I'm going to put right at the beginning.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I was thinking. This movie,
I can't remember what.
You know what? This movie is low-key just like High School Musical if they don't sing. Because it starts off, end of the school year. How does
Remember, I've only
High
watched the
School
second
Musical 2 start off? It starts off with the song about how school's out. Summer.
Yeah, that's
Starting.
true.
School's
so right,
out.
Actually, yeah.
School's
It
out
does.
plays, which is a cliche, but it works. I was thinking like, oh, that's such a cliche when it first started playing. That like school's out plays at the end of school, but it worked. But oh, okay. I just thought of a reason why I'm really stupid, but I want to finish what I was saying first.
Okay, do that, and then I'll remind you.
And then they all go out for a little party thing, and it's just like High School Musical.
Yeah.
But with more drugs.
A lot more drugs.
And the thing I was going to say was...
A lot more representation of drugs as well.
Only 2.
I was thinking, like, them talking about it, and, like, that's not representation. I'm just getting all my words.
It's representation,
guys. I'm
so nice. So cute. It's representation of the drugs. They needed it.
Wait, what 2?
Huh?
What 2?
Alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
And
weed.
cannabis.
Yeah. Cannabis.
Yeah. My brain for a second then was like, yeah, it is cannabis, right? Yeah, of course it is. I'm so stupid. But, yeah, in the dream world where we're famous YouTubers, we're not getting monetized for this. I don't reckon.
No.
I don't know how strict they are on things like that, but I think you can't swear too much, so I assume like...
Have we sworn much? I don't think we have.
No, but I assume drug mention is along similar veins.
There's drugs in the movie.
Yeah, but no, that
What am I meant
change
to talk about?
Okay, I was gonna say the reason I was stupid is I said in the movie, these kids, freshmen, I thought that they were in a different school because they ran out of a different school. And then I realised school's out and they're gonna be freshmen
Now.
when school starts again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So silly me.
I
You'll
thought
make
the
mistakes.
same, but then I was like, oh, actually, that means like, yeah.
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 Basically, we thought the same thing, and then you weren't stupid, and I continued
just didn't
to
say
be
it out
stupid.
loud.
Oh, okay, yeah. In my notes, I wrote, first of all, that Randy looks like Kelso from that 70s show, and I know you haven't watched that 70s show. I presume a lot of why Randy looks like Kelso from that 70s show is because they're both from the 70s.
I just think so.
They have similar haircuts, but it looks better on Randy. And they wear similar clothes, but they look better on Randy. And then I also wrote that he looks like Damon Albarn on a different page.
Yeah.
That's more about his face
Yeah.
than...
And his nose swoop. Don't forget his nose swoop.
And he has a lovely nose swoop.
Anyway, my favourite character.
Yeah.
Not favourite. No, maybe favourite. One of my favourite is Mitch. I love Mitch. He's
Real.
really funny. And I just love his, like, expressions. His face is always showing his thoughts, and I think that's
That was something I wrote in my notes, is when she says, sorry, I'm not specifying anything for the listeners, so this is just like...
When she talks, I don't even know who you're talking about.
Jumble to... Yeah, but you would have from the next thing I was saying. When Jodie, Mitch's sister...
Yeah.
Cut this so that I less jumble and jimble jamble.
And Jimble Jamble.
And jimble jamble. Jodie, Mitch's older sister, who is in the same year as the bullies, tells Mitch that she told the bullies to take it easy, so she's really on him. So she's really annoyed that they didn't. And he says, "No wonder." But before he says "no wonder," he pulls 100 different facial expressions in the span of a second. His face is like, it's like a hurricane. It just moves around in circles. Like, I don't know what he's gonna settle on.
Yeah, you can't tell if it's like he's gonna like burst out with anger or like
laughter.
Or it's a real mixture, and you never know where it's gonna land.
And then he's just like, "No wonder." I didn't know that sound was gonna come out, but that's not how he sounds. But that was a pretty good like Ash Ketchum impression.
That was just fabulous. I also said that he looked like a younger version of Riley from Home Alone, and I think that's a very important, because that's literally all I saw the entire time we were watching it.
It warped my world completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could also be female version of him.
True.
Loki.
Still younger.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
But no, I agree. Mitch is a really good character, I think, because he really like built his own confidence as the night goes on. You know, like
True.
when Randy says to Mitch like, "Oh hey," just after he gets beaten again, I will explain later, by the bullies. Mitch, it's supposed to be Randy's turn, and he doesn't hit him properly, and then he waits till everyone goes, and he says to Mitch that he'll give him a ride home because Mitch's friends left. Assholes. And then Mitch gets in the car, and Randy says to him like, "Oh, do you want to come out with us later?" And he's like, "Oh, do you think that's a good idea?" And Randy, being the icon that he is, he's like, "Yeah, like they'll all think you're like cool, like they'll think it's cool that you got over it."
Yeah.
And Mitch he seems really worried about it, and then he just comes out in like nice clothes.
True.
And he's like, "You know what, it's
like,
gonna be fine." And then he's kind of fine for the rest of the evening. Like, he has a few blips, you know.
Even when he like pulls that stunt on that guy, what's his name? The guy that gets covered in paint and he gets really angry.
Yeah, but he doesn't know it was him. He just knows he smiled.
No, but
that's true.
Even
though
like he smiled, like, and it's his friends that like kind of did it.
But all he does is shout.
Yeah, and then he gets out of it, and then all the friends of the guy who got covered in paint are like, "Yeah, good on you. Like, you got him back." Like, it's very
I guess
sibling.
Yeah.
Relationship.
It's kind of like Jodie and Sabrina. Like, Sabrina is another freshman who's doing like, there's a side plot of females doing hazing rituals to freshmen, which are really different to the boys ones. I feel like less like they talk about how they'll leave it a few days before you get another beating if you're a boy, whereas it feels like the girl ones are like that day you do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then it's done.
And then you're in the school. And so Jodie and Sabrina go out afterwards, and again it seems like it doesn't seem like it's serious, you know, it's not out of hatred, whereas the angry guy is a bit more full of hatred. But
yeah, definitely.
I think all of the people in that group do get some level of like, you forgive them, but in a lot of them I am a bit like, you're a weirdo.
Yeah. What are your other favourite characters? Or is there any others?
She may not have any words.
Worlds?
She may not have any words. She may only get to sing one line of a song. but Michelle means everything to me.
Fair enough.
She means everything to me. She's stunning, and I love her.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was going to say, I really quite found Don Dawson quite funny. I thought he played his character really well. That kind of, like, overly playful and, like, a bit stupid type character. I just thought it was quite interesting.
I really agree, actually, because I got kind of confused with him and the actual bully.
Yeah.
To begin with. And so I was like, he's the dick. But he's not the dick. He is nice. Like,
yeah. Like, he obviously liked them all, you know.
Yeah, he does the stupid stuff that they all do.
Yeah.
But he doesn't
has,
have
like,
any
quite
anger
playful
behind
side
it.
as well. Like,
Yeah.
when he's like, he's the one that, like, is like, oh, I'm going to steal the beers, and then he says to Mitch, he's like, I'm not actually going to, I'm going to pay for them.
He's
just like, yeah.
He's very, like, nice about the whole thing.
Yeah.
He never questions the fact Mick comes along.
No.
Because obviously,
he actually is really good with it. He does, like, the whole, he has, like, a very good, like, playful banter with them always, I think.
What is the name of Matthew McConaughey?
I was thinking this, I
don't know his name. But obviously he's supposed to be older than everyone else, and so he doesn't go to their school. But he just is like, who's this guy? Because obviously he meets him new.
Yeah.
Whereas Don obviously
David
knows.
Wooderman.
Yeah, they don't call him David.
Wooderman.
I don't think they call him David.
I don't know.
I feel like I would have noticed.
I think it was Wooderman in the credits, but I can't remember. For sure.
Yeah, but then, you know, Randy was called Pink, so you never know with those credits.
That's true.
Yeah, crazy.
Unreliable.
I mean, it makes sense with I'm gonna make a random shot in the dark guess. Pickford. Pinkman. No, it's not Pickman. It's Pickford. No, I wrote it down somewhere.
Pickman, the guy that got the
It wasn't
the keg too
Pickman.
early, and he had his parents didn't go on holiday because he was going to have
I could have sworn.
It was Pickman. I'll prove it to you.
Oh.
I'll get the cast.
Pickford. It's Pickford. My mum said Pickford because I wrote it down when she said it to me.
I wrote it down too.
Well,
then
Google
I misread it.
Google
it's
it.
Pickford.
I told you. Okay, it may not have been Prickfoot, but it was Pickford, and I said it was Pickford. Also, something I want to bring up because it won't fit into any of our sections, but I really want to bring it up is that my mum, so basically we were talking about how my mum, she understands it clearly better
on
than
another level,
on an otherworldly level, but mum has a hatred for Jodie.
Oh yeah.
I think it's maybe it's left over from her secondary school days. But she has a hatred for Jodie. Which I think Jodie's character is supposed to be likable, but the actress is not very good at acting.
Yeah, I think she overplays it. It was at the beginning when she's like, I don't want you guys to pick on Mitch too hard. Like, you've got to be nice to him. And then she does this, like, she points at each of them, and it's just really, like, cheesy and like weird.
Yeah, it looks like it's in a different movie.
Type of movie, yeah.
This movie's silly, but it's not cheesy.
No, it's not meant to be like a cheesy.
It's goofy. It's not a romance.
No, yeah.
There's like 2 minutes of romance in it ever, and you don't focus on it even a little bit.
Not at all.
It's a really dialogue and like dynamic heavy movie. Like how characters react with one another is a huge part in the movie, because that's all you really learn about characters and how they act is through like how they are with one another. You don't have any time with any character just on their own.
Yeah,
you know, like everything. At least that's how I understand it. Obviously, this isn't the deepest movie in the world, and I'm not going to pretend it is. But I didn't get to say the thing. Okay, so yeah, Jodie's telling all the boys to take it easy on her brother. Like I said,
yeah.
My mum, when we're seeing the scene where they're like really going after him, and mum goes, "It's because she told them to take it easy, stupid bitch."
I remember that now.
No, she went, "The stupid bitch." Sorry.
I don't think I've ever heard your mum say something so like she said that dead straight. Like she meant that.
She meant that. Yeah, but it's like when we finished the movie, and my mum she really hates this woman, because we finished the movie and my mum goes, "Ha, woman who plays Jodie not looking too good now." I'm like, she's probably 60.
Yeah.
This is a movie from 93, and she's probably one of the oldest actresses there. Yeah. She looks a lot older than a lot of people in it. But yeah, good for mum for being spiteful.
Good for her.
We all have to be spiteful sometimes.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I was twisting it.
Oh, mess up our audio, but you twisting it.
Do you want to move on from characters?
Yeah, I don't... that's my characters, like...
Yeah, I mean,
I like Slater a little bit. I thought he was funny in areas, but he wasn't, like...
I thought he didn't live out his true potential.
Yeah, I
as
think
a
they
character.
could have really made him a really likeable character.
Yeah.
But he kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah, they start, like, ramping it up his character to, like, have more dialogue, and then he just says, like, hey, a couple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't say anything of substance after a while. Obviously, he has the great bit that I will come to in the woods.
I wonder if we're gonna... I don't remember.
The bit in the woods is a really great bit, but
Yeah.
other than beyond that, he doesn't have
Yeah,
much
no.
of a moment
Yeah.
to himself, and I think that is, like, a shame. Jodie... According to my mum, we hate Jodie, and I don't want to argue with her on it because I don't know how she'd react to that. So
Maybe kill you.
No,
kidding.
we need to talk about Pickford
Okay.
because we both had the same journey, I think, with Pickford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
think so.
We meet Pickford and his truly otherworldly, stunning girlfriend, and they're in his house. And I think he also is similar to Slater, in that. His character deserved more, but
Yeah.
they couldn't fit anymore. Like, it's a fairly long movie, and it is full. Like,
Yeah,
there's not a
true,
dull
true.
moment, really. I mean, I guess if you don't like that kind of movie, but there's not a still moment.
Yeah.
But they introduced Pickford, and he is going to get kegs that got delivered to his house, and his dad finds out he was planning the party, and he has wonderful hair, and I thought he was a handsome lad, and I thought he was really funny. The bit where he's talking to the man with the kegs, and he's like, "You must have got the wrong house."
And he
Different Pickford
makes eye
altogether."
contact with him
Yeah.
and he looks to the side to show that his parents are behind him. Yeah.
And I thought he was great. And the bit where he sighs at his parents that they're staying home as well.
Yeah.
He
He crunches up his hands and he's like, ugh.
I hate you guys.
And walks back into the house.
I wish I was never born.
But like your mum said, how can they be so boring as to just cancel their whole holiday just because they obviously they were right, but they had a suspicion that he was going to throw a party, and so they just cancelled their whole holiday.
My mum was like, "What buzzkills?" It's like, true. Why do you care that much? You know?
It's like
Because he's trying to hide it from you.
Mad.
He's gonna make sure nothing gets broken.
Exactly.
And that.
He's gonna you're gonna get so mad that he's gonna make sure that it's all fine when you get back. So you might as well just go and let him have the party.
I mean, it works out obviously well for them because the woods seemed like a much better place for it than his house that, quite frankly, wasn't that big.
Yeah.
So, and he had no garden. That's not ideal.
No. Did you finish your journey about Pickford, by the way?
Just that they really die him down as a character. I think he loses a lot of his charm, but I guess they get more drunk and high, and they just don't have the same level of ability to have good dialogue and stuff like that. But
it's interesting because it's I feel like at the beginning you get a lot of substance from each character, and then as they drag forward the ones that they want you to focus on, a lot of the characters around them lose a lot of substance by the end.
But the same way
it works because you're focusing on. It's not like all of them do. You know, you're focusing on the characters.
In the same way that at the beginning Randy just has a couple good lines.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have much personality. And that again ties to my link to Atlanta in that Darius at the beginning had a couple funny lines per episode. And then he becomes the main character, and I feel like with Randy they really wanted to drive in it's just this guy. But look, he's not just this guy. He has so much going on. And I think that's really important. But because in the beginning, what do we have from him? We have when he gets to class and they're like, "Mr. Floyd, are you coming in?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I'm here now."
Might as well. Yeah, I do love that bit.
Yeah, it was good delivery.
Yeah,
and then
really
Don's like, "All right, bye, I'm not going in there." And hits on the teacher.
As you do.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
she did look their age.
Yeah. She did actually.
She looked exactly her age. I was like, I don't believe that's a teacher.
I was about to say she was a MILF, but she wasn't even a MILF. She looked like 20.
She looked younger than he did.
Yeah, kind of. Don. That's why I confused him with the older guy who is being held back a year, maybe more than 1 year. The one who's fighting, that we don't know the name of. There's a bully that we don't know the name of that we've spoken about before. And he is being held back a year for sure, and might have been before, but I don't think so. And I kept confusing him with him because he looks old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it wasn't him.
No.
Which is good because I liked Tom. I think that's it for characters. I mean,
I think so.
Unfortunately, the female characters don't shine the way they could have shined.
No,
I think
true.
in this movie, and we were talking about that with my mum, that the female plots are very much side plots. It's not like an even show of how both sides experience school. It's like
they like pull it out for the what's it called, the initiation type ritual things. They pull it out for that, but it kind of, as soon as Zach's gone, they kind of dial it down like quite a lot.
Yeah, and then also they still go up to our male characters to show how our male characters would react to things happening to them. Oh, do you know who I forgot to mention? That is very important. Our little trio of nerds.
True. Oh my god,
I love our trio of nerds.
True.
They're so. You prefer Tony and I prefer Mike.
No, other way around.
No.
Mike's the blonde one, right?
No.
Oh.
Tony's the blonde one.
Tony.
Tony's the blonde one with the
Are
glasses.
you sure? I don't think so.
You're wrong. You're wrong because she brings her up. Jodie brings Sabrina up to Tony on the car.
Okay, that is Tony.
Yes, thank you. And she says, "You're going to propose to Tony."
I don't like how he's trying to get with someone who's 4 years younger than him.
I don't like that he's trying to get with someone 4 years younger than him, but we're just supposed to think that's normal because it's the 70s.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do?
Really, really, like, ignoring that, I think he is a funny character and he's likeable. That really brings it down. But, again, like you said, that was meant to be normal, so...
Some people would think that because I think I'm happy for Mitch, that he got the Jamie?
I can't remember her name.
It starts with a J.
Yeah.
Like, some people would think because I'm happy with that, like, I'm just being, like, sexist. But the thing is, it's not that. Jamie isn't a senior.
No, she's, like, what, 1, maybe 2 years above him?
Yeah. And he clearly, like, wants that to happen. And Sabrina does seem really, like, unaware of what's going on around her.
Yeah.
To me.
I agree.
And he clearly is very aware of what's going on around him.
I mean, they kiss. I feel like it's pretty obvious. But, yeah it's
but still,
like,
you know what I mean? She doesn't understand the stuff at the beginning when she's proposing and stuff. Like, she doesn't understand what's going on. Oh, okay. For the people who haven't watched, not actually proposing. It's part of the hazing ritual that she has to, like, fake propose. And then they're like, what would you do if we were married? And they're like, anything.
Yeah.
It's obviously they're not actually engaged. But yeah, I think it's kind of weird. But I do like them as a trio in general. Anyway, I'm thinking scenes, yeah.
Yeah.
A scene I really love is the baseball scene when they're on the field.
Okay, yeah.
Like, when Mitch is playing with his friends and his friends are like, can you make it so we can leave? And it kind of goes like... It zooms in on Mitch's face a lot.
Yeah.
And you can see that he's, like, stressed. Because the guy who plays Mitch...
Loads of his facial expressions.
Yeah, he's really good at the facial expressions. And I think, like, you kind of see his knowing that he needs to let his friends go. I think that's another reason why I love Mitch so much, is that he does let his friends go in the beginning and takes the worst beating.
Yeah, true. Which
wasn't his fault, it was his sister's fault. And he gets the reward of, like, a really good evening.
Yeah, true.
You know, getting to hang out with people older than him that he considers cooler than him. He gets the girls and stuff. And it's like, you feel like he deserves that because he didn't deserve all that stuff that happened to him at the beginning because his friends just didn't want to get beat, so they made him go.
Yeah.
You know? And they didn't even get beat in the end. Sneaky little things.
One did.
Yeah, but he wasn't there when... He was in the baseball scene, I don't think. I think he first showed up in the one after.
I don't actually remember.
No, I don't know. He was kind of irrelevant. Yeah. Long-haired kid, no offence. He had a weird name.
The other two, the blonde one...
Carl. Carl and Mitch, best buds.
Yeah, and then the other two...
There was a curly-haired one and a long-haired one.
Yeah.
And the long-haired one's name was like Snickerdoodle or something really long. And I don't think it was Snickerdoodle. It was either like Snickerdoodle Fishermonger. something silly and long like that.
Yeah.
But either way, Mitch
took the beating, and
yeah.
And I'm glad things went well for him in the end.
The only problem I have with the baseball scene is that it's followed by my least favorite scene. The spanking scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, I understand that it's important to it, but I do just think, like, as a British person, it's incredibly hard to understand that the way they would bully people is spanking them.
Yeah.
With a paddle they made specifically for the purpose of spanking boys.
Yeah.
Like, in the UK, you would be bullied for doing that.
Physical bullying is such a, like...
Yeah.
No one... It's just a norm.
But, like, when it is, it's, like, punching.
Yeah.
It's not... You're not telling younger boys than you to bend over.
Yeah, that would be...
And spanking them with a... Like, you'd get called a nonce. You'd get called gay.
Yeah.
You'd get bullied for that.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't happen. Maybe it happened in the 70s here, but I really can't imagine it.
It's just, yeah.
I could be wrong there. I don't know. To me, it seems like it probably is kind of like a cultural difference.
Yeah.
But then I guess we did spanking in schools here, but that's kind of different, isn't it? Like... You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm banging on about, but
no, I get what you mean. It is like...
I understand the importance of the scene, and I think seeing, like, the perspective of, like, the faces of the boys and stuff like that would have been a cool scene if they were just, like, beating him up, but it is uncomfortable now.
Do you know what I think also pairs that? Is when his friend, the irrelevant friend, is being spanked as well.
Yeah.
The angle they choose to shoot it from is just, like, from low and right by his leg. It's, like, here. And it's such a weird, like... Yeah. Just unnecessary type. It's just really...
I guess at the time,
highlights it,
not supposed to think much of it. It's just like, oh yeah, it's like a amazing thing. But it is really uncomfortable
It's
now.
just uncomfortable, and it's just like... For the spank, it's like a key part, but it's also not.
No.
Like, they could have done anything. But
they could have beat them up.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that they could have just been beating them up.
And it would have had the same effect.
But I guess it's because it's supposed to be like a humiliation thing. In the way that the girls have their humiliation thing.
Yeah.
And you think that's really weird and unnecessary, which is another one of my least favourite scenes. It's funnier, it's less uncomfortable, because they're just like having that, you know, they're all just having food thrown at them and rolling around the floor, and I would say that makes it a lot less uncomfortable, but it is just like odd.
I think also like how they show the difference. So like the girls, they're all together, and it's like, yeah, there's people watching, but they're all like in groups and stuff. They're not doing anything really alone, and plus it's in like sunlight. Like it has a much more happy and like not terrifying and like completely out.
It's all like slightly got fun and games in the background. All the girls are happy that they're like being accepted to the thing. There's no happiness. That's the reason it's so uncomfortable, is just because you're imagining the humiliation yourself.
Yeah,
I think
definitely
in a way that you're like, well, it's a huge group of girls all doing the same thing.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and also they didn't have to.
Well, yeah, as well.
They
chose.
Yeah.
Whereas the boys are one by one being chased down, and you're just imagining that happening to you, and that's what makes it uncomfortable. Is just like, what the hell?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think, like, in some ways, it does make sense, because, like Mum said, it's a lot to do with my mum said. But just
not
like felt weird in my brain. What Mum said. It's weird. Like, it's probably a lot trying to make fun of how that was.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I think it definitely is. Like, because by the 90s, I doubt it was happening.
I think a lot of the film is that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a crybaby type beat.
Yeah.
And like she said, the difference between that film and like what I would consider personally, there's probably better examples, but what I would probably consider the like British Dazed and Confused would be Human Traffic, which I know you haven't watched, but it's a lot heavier on the drug use.
Yeah.
Heavier on like the bad effects the drug use has, because they take obviously other stuff.
Yeah.
And like a bit more serious, but I do think almost every British thing that could be the exact same movie concept is going to be more depressing because that is kind of more the British way. Not so much now, but in earlier movies, I think America had a phase where everything was feel good.
Yeah.
And the UK, we've never been big on feel good. We've been we're all miserable. And everyone's here miserable. Everything's going wrong in their lives. Like,
I was saying to you when we were watching it, like, the fact that when they're the age that they are, we're here, all this stuff will probably come a lot younger.
Yeah.
Not
definitely.
like a lot younger.
But
like
at least a bit younger, because even like, I guess it's just that all the things came to us when we were Mitch's age.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like, Mitch is like the kid.
Yeah.
Hanging out with all of the older people. Whereas we were doing
he's
stuff,
early to this.
Yeah. Whereas we were doing that stuff when we were his age, but then I think it is a big thing that underage drinking is probably less common in America.
Yeah.
Again, if somehow an American was watching this, we don't know. You know,
We don't live there.
We don't live there. Never been there.
Nope.
So we only have our experiences, and from our experiences, like, underage drinking, everybody does in the UK because it's so easy.
Everybody does.
Because first of all,
barely anyone who doesn't.
Obviously in that movie, it was set when drinking age was still 18 in America. I assume that it changed.
Yeah.
Because the guy asks if he's 18, and nothing else about it was like different to reality. So, I mean, I assume drinking age was 18 back then, but I think that makes a big difference into how much underage drinking is more common here.
Yeah.
What's any of your favourite scenes?
I was looking at the car chase scene. I think the intensity of it is quite... They have like a fun play on the intensity of it, and I think it's quite interesting.
Between the kid's car and the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that scene.
Like, obviously... And then, like, the mum coming out at the end and being, like with the gun, was, like, telling the guy to, like,
That
go
is
away.
a really good bit.
And
they poke their heads out the door.
Yeah. I think, like, it's got, like, the intensity of, like, the idea they're trying to portray with this whole, like, power dynamic thing, but without the spanking, which is just, like, really uncomfortable to watch. It's got, like, that, like, intensity, but without the thing. I think it works.
It's before you know... I mean, maybe you probably can infer it, but I wouldn't know, because I already knew this time round. But, like, at that point, you don't know what's going to happen. So that it's got more... Yeah. So it's got more of a build-up. Because to be fair, while it's more like, oh, that must be so embarrassing, obviously a spanking probably is a lot better than getting the shit kicked out of you. So it's like, you're imagining they're going to get the shit kicked out of them, you don't know what's going to happen. So it's that makes the car chase scene so much more exhilarating. You know? You're like, wow, they have to run, you know? Like,
and it's like the cut in between the car you're looking at, and like the focus on character and stuff, and it's just like, the whole dynamic of it is very, like,
and the
engaging.
fact that, this is nothing, when they're running, and the guy gets out of the car before Mitch and Carl. Yeah. So you're like, you're screwed, mate. He's still trying to run. He still runs for so long. They're basically next to each other. Like,
they run, like, parallel for a bit. And it's just like...
At one point, the bully is closer to the door than him. Yeah. And it's like, run in the opposite direction at this point. You're not getting
just
inside the house.
At least, like...
And they're like,
maybe they knew that the mum would come out. But
Carl's like, are you coming with me, Mitch? And Mitch is like, yeah,
I guess. If I have to. Yeah.
Poor Mitch needs new friends. He gets new friends. He gets his old friends that just left school that he won't have anymore. I really like... It's not a scene, it's just a moment. But I love when he opens the car boot and it's completely filled to the brim with beer.
I forgot about that. Oh my god, yes.
And I literally wrote in my notes, like, that is not enough beer to kill a man. That is enough beer to kill 10 men.
That's so funny. I said truck full of beer, amount to kill.
Kill an undisclosed number of people. Yes. It's a lot.
Layers. There's layers to that. Like, I don't even know how many.
Top layer, I reckon each layer is at least 50.
Yeah, that's an insane amount.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I just have no understanding of how much beer would fit in a car. Okay, let's do some maths here. How big is a car boot? This big?
That big? Okay.
Make a bottle. This big by that big.
Okay, so you got a bottle They were sometimes some were laying, but I'm gonna do like sideways up because
I wish
1, 2, 3, 4.
because
Maybe 5.
they were sideways. Yeah, so you
5.
could fit more than if they were upright.
Yeah. So 5 maybe that way,
Yeah.
and then like 2, 3, 10.
So that's 50.
That's 50.
That's 50. And then
Round
when
about
think
50.
about heights, they're probably about this much height, and I reckon a boot's this much height.
Maybe a little bit less.
But it's halfway. It's halfway, so that like that.
3, 4 maybe. It's like
That is a lot.
200.
That is more than my dad has in Pepsi cans right now. And they're not all in a boot. They're in crates.
And there's a lot of them.
Tell me how they have almost double.
Sorry, okay.
I would like to add the detail, because all the coughs will be cut out, that every time Kai has to cough, he like shakes a finger at me and then coughs.
Because I don't want to
stop talking.
I don't want to cough over you, and then because I think I might have done it so far already. There'll be coughs in here. I'm gonna have to keep them in. But
I just think it's a nice detail.
yeah.
But yeah, I think
No, that is a good scene. That just like the
he just opens it, and then the other guy's like, "Don't waste a beer on those girls."
Yeah, and
it's like, what, one of your 300? Like
you don't need that.
you do not need that. Like what?
They packed up for the summer, literally.
Like you have enough beer to last a lifetime. You have enough beer to fail 100 livers.
And then
you have no issues here.
He got mad at I can't actually remember who gave the beer to the girls. Was it Randy?
I don't think it was Randy. I think it was Don or David. David, water balloon. What's he called? All their names in my brain are a word.
Woodman.
Yeah, Woodman. Dugaba. No one listening's gonna understand Dugaba. God damn. In my brain, all their names are just a very slightly similar word to their names. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think so.
So
anyway,
in my brain, he was water balloon. Did I say wood balloon?
I don't actually know. You said water a lot, and I was like,
what if
water
there was
is
a
nothing
water
to do with
balloon?
water.
A water balloon made of wood.
I hope not.
That'd fuck you up, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Anyway,
brain damage. Yeah, sorry.
He gets more mad at that guy for giving beer to people that are gonna drink it than the guy who literally goes, opens it, and then smashes it. He throws it and smashes it. That is a waste.
Yeah, well.
Bear in mind, that was one beer and they have like 500.
Yeah, literally.
But like, it is still crazy.
Like throwaway scene mention the bongs in the science class. Of course, it's funny. He's like, "Oh, you have a hole here, man. It's leaking out. It's no good. Yeah,
it's too. It's not tight enough. You've got too much air flow coming out.
You gotta stick some gum in it." That's what he says. You gotta stick some gum right here. Fix it.
We kind of already talked about this, but when the keg comes too early,
yeah,
and the guy is like, just the whole him.
It's a good interaction.
It's just
he knows.
amazing.
He's like, yeah, okay.
No, even in the bedroom when he's like, wait a minute, and the dad walks in, but he goes to the window and he's like, oh shit, and then he's like, and then he comes back,
and he's like, I had no idea.
I don't know what that means. I'm no party. But yeah,
I had no idea what that was about. Yeah, that is really good. I like. They had so many.
I can't remember what they were talking about, but when they were on like the moon tower thing, and they're like talking to Mitch, and they're like, oh well, one of the guys, he was a freshman and he had one beer and he fell and hit his head on each one, and they say that it hurts less after the first few.
He said you can't feel it after the first few. That was playing in my brain because he goes, he hit. Oh, I wrote it down exactly how he says it. Because I thought it was so funny. But you see how it goes on, my notes get.
Oh Jesus!
An utter mess.
I think I know what you're gonna say because he goes, "How many have you had?" And he goes, 4.
Yeah, he goes.
I can't remember how he says it.
He goes.
Like, elongates it.
Autopsy said he only had one beer. How about you? And he goes, 4. That's how he says it. He goes 4, because he's like grumpy that he's saying it because he knows it's not true. He says, God, it's so hard to remember how things are said. Oh yeah, like you said, he smacked his head on every rung, and it's awful, but I just kept imagining bonk, 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 bonk.
I love your little head tilts when you're doing that.
No one can see the wonderful movement I just did. But it was so good. Oh my god, I know,
I
okay.
need to find the scene where
I
he's
know.
doing it.
They got it
Ted
bang
had
on.
it.
4.
4.
Because he's like, 4, shut up.
Yeah.
God, shut up, Slater. I really wanted to mention this. Sorry, I know I talk so much, guys.
No, you're good.
Hopefully you can make it seem like we talk an almost even amount.
I will.
But it is tough because obviously I've watched this movie a billion times and I both already knew things I wanted to talk about before we even watched a movie and discover new things I didn't notice when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So obviously I am going to have like
an
insane amount to say, but something I'd never noticed as a kid is when they first get into the bar they're in before they go to the woods. They say what's called Emporium?
Yes.
Something, the Emporium.
I actually didn't know that. I just
if we're wrong and I said
it said Emporium.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say if we're wrong and you so securely were like, yes, you got that right.
No, I didn't know for sure until because I looked it up and it said it was Emporium.
Yeah, they're in the Emporium. I just like keep accidentally drifting close to the microphone. This might be horrible.
No, I think that's just us being louder because we're getting late.
And there's a guy. There's a guy playing pool, and they just like move past him.
Yeah.
While he's walking through, but as it walks past, he's like trash talking his opponent at pool, but the opponent is not trash talking back. It's just like he's just like yelling at him. It feels like he's like an army leader, like yelling at a soldier. Like he's going like, "You should be proud I let you pay on my table. You are the worst player I've ever seen." And then he goes like, "Okay, homo, I hope you're ready for the agonizing humiliation." And he just keeps talking to him like he's like barking. Like I've gone so loud. He's like barking orders at him.
Yeah.
He's like, "You should be ashamed of yourself. You are the one." I'm like, it's just cool, man. Calm down. And it's just so funny because it's like a tiny throwaway scene.
Oh yeah.
But it's so good. Like there's just moments like that, I think, in this movie that like this movie has no real plot, but that is so perfect.
Yeah, true.
I mean, we're kind of seeping into lines. Should we just talk about lines?
Yeah, I haven't got any more scenes. So.
Because that leads me to another point. That is a line. Is just like when they get back in the car and the man, after he goes to the store and pretends that he steals the beer, but he hasn't, and the guy puts the gun to his head, and he goes, God, what's his name? Pickford goes, "Don, just tell him, just give him the money for the beer, man, or just give him the beer, man."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, just tell him you took the beer," I think he says.
Oh, yeah.
And
he says give it back, just give the beer back, man, in the car.
No, he says, okay.
We'll get there eventually.
He says, "Just pay for the beer, man." And Don goes, "I did pay for the beer."
Yeah.
Because obviously we've seen the conversation between Mitch and
Don,
where he's like,
"I'm gonna pay for it.
I'm gonna pay for it. I'm just gonna pretend I'm not paying for it. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Just gonna freak them out a little bit and stuff. Which is a nice moment. Again, like that's the first real like bonding you see between them because they're like punching each other and stuff. And it's like nice. And it's just the way that Don's like, "I did pay for the beer," because he's like, which like I know. Okay, it doesn't sound like anything particular, but it just like something in my brain in the movie. It's the way they're all like leaned over and hushed in the car, and it's like it's very like it's nice when they are so like friendly in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I feel like especially Randy starts to disconnect from them a lot throughout the movie. Especially like Don, who starts off as like his closest friend. He drifts from his friend group in this movie, and I think it's nice in the moments, even though that wasn't between the two of them, like the rare moments where you see proper friendship between.
Yeah, and I think it's just like as well, like having.
God, I have to do my Duolingo.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep talking while you do that.
You can keep talking. Do you have lines?
Yeah, I have a few.
Okay, cool.
It's nice seeing like Mitch be part of that friendship as well.
Agreed. Yes.
Like Mitch is in the car, like he's part of like the little joke that Don had, and like it's just like
He's as
ooh.
confused as everybody else.
Yeah, and it's just nice to see him actually involved in like them, because I think, I don't know about you, but throughout the whole movie, once he's in the group, I'm just like on edge like a tiny little bit.
Yeah,
they're just gonna
you don't
like
want something
get
bad
mad
to
at
happen.
him again, and they're gonna kick him out.
You really start to like him, and so
Yeah.
you're like, you don't want anybody to suddenly be bullying him.
Yeah.
So I do know what you mean.
I was worried that it was like a trick the entire time.
Yeah.
Like just only a little bit. But like I was worried that they just like called him along to like trap him in a situation.
Yeah.
Which obviously like they didn't do. And I'm really glad they didn't.
I wouldn't expect it from Randy, but it's just like you're afraid for everyone else, because obviously he didn't discuss it with anybody else. You don't know how they're gonna react. Just because he said they weren't gonna react bad doesn't mean they're not gonna react bad.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was gonna say, I wanted to mention this in scenes and I forgot. But oh shit, my phone died. I think like
lines. Okay.
Oh no, wait. Oh no. Yeah, go first.
You sure?
Yeah.
You remembered it. I'm saying that's fine. Never mind.
I was just gonna say when he throws the bowling ball. When they're going to...
I was thinking that. I was shocked, but also, like, kind of makes sense that they did it this way. That the guy that came to the door of the car was about the mailbox, not the fucking car being smashed.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, me too.
Like, because he comes over and you think it's weird because he didn't steal. And he's like, you trashed my mailbox.
And like, that's what he's got chased by.
So mad about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, he smashed... What?
I think that was me yelling.
He smashed that whole guy's car the fuck up. Like, that's a new car that is going to be the most expensive repair otherwise. Like, and it's so bizarre. But it's just the way, like, he throws it and you're like, oh...
Yeah,
this is tense
for like
this
a little
is
bit.
Bad. And then all of a sudden everybody starts laughing and he starts laughing too, and he's not even like anxious about it anymore, he just forgets, and I think it's like a really good scene. And then this is one last thing that I really wanted to mention in scenes. Between the three nerds, just the whole time we're flickering between people going to parties, and it's just them having really deep intellectual discussions on how on how they should be partying and having fun with their lives before they're adults.
Yeah.
But they sound like such nerds about it. They're like, we should be making real life experiences, and we should, you know what I mean? Like the guy who is he was in Friends, and he's like, yeah, we need to start making real life experience. I can't do his nasally voice. I did it before, didn't I? Yeah.
Maybe I should
My
do that.
fish.
I've got my nasally voice right now.
My fish. We should be making real life experiences. Was that good?
That was great.
I don't think it was good.
It was
It
something.
didn't sound right. But he's really good in it.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
he gets it going on.
A line that I really like, and I can't remember how she says it now, but they're in the car and it's like, I can't remember the other two girls, but Simone is definitely one of them. And then one of the girls goes, I know you're lying, you bitch, but in like a really like funny way that we literally like turned to each other and like copied it at the exact same time. No, Simone was in the middle and it was a person driving.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think.
It's just another one of them. But I know she goes, I know you're lying, you bitch.
Yeah, and it's just like perfect. But I don't even know what they were talking about. I have literally no idea what they were talking about. I was not paying attention, but that stuck in my head, and I was just like, that's perfect, because it's just how they say it and stuff. Delivery is perfect.
Another thing I forgot to mention during the scenes, but I love just the really short snippet between the like kind of bar and party, and it's two girls getting ready and one's lying on the bed and the other's zipping her trousers on with
pliers.
Yeah, with pliers. And I think it's just such a nice little scene, because that one seems like one that is really realistic to what life would have been like to them.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the scenes you're like, this is a bit silly, this is a bit over the top, but that seems so like bang on to like the
what it would be.
Kind of
definitely
going out and stuff they'd do, and I really liked it.
I really like the bit when Slater is talking about his high rambles, and he's talking about like how everything was like the government and like the presidents were in a cult or something. Anyway, I can't really remember exactly what he says. And he's talking about like dollar bills, and he's like, and it's green too. It's like,
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
You know in Taskmaster,
Yeah.
and they're doing the one where they have to make the biggest drawing of a circle
Yes.
and James A. Caster just rides around in a circle on a bike while like spinning something around him, and Greg is like, this is really stupid, and he goes, my eyes are circles.
I love that bit.
That is him going, and the money's green.
It's green too.
So it's basically connected. Like, what are you talking about, man? That has no connection to your weird weed theory.
Yeah. I also like when he's like, Livin.
Oh, and it's in the town.
Yeah. I can't remember the line from the song, the GRZLY song.
Oh, it's
But
these are the best years of my life, man, and then I'm gonna kill myself. No, he doesn't say it exactly like that.
but
it's
it's if someone says that these are the best years of my
if someone else says if one more person, you're right. If one more person says these are the best
years of my life,
I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Which, okay, that's real, because, okay, to be fair, they seem like they're having a good time, and it is different for us as well, because we're following people who are all popular, and even the ones who aren't popular are fairly liked, and we weren't, like, hated or anything, but we weren't popular
Yeah.
when we were in school still, but I think it is interesting because from their perspective, they're popular. They're like the main people at this big party.
Yeah.
They were supposed to host it and stuff like that, you know, like it does seem like it would have been way more fun than we had. But I get what he's still, it's supposed to, you know, it just shows, it goes to show like teen life, he's still miserable.
Yeah. I mean, like, despite this film not seeming like it has much deeper meaning, there is a underlying meaning of it being like, use these years to live life how you want to live it.
And I think he realises that. Because even he's like, oh, I don't want to be friends with you guys just do stupid things, and I'm thinking of stopping hanging out with you because you just do stupid things. And they're all like, oh, like, as in Randy, obviously.
Yeah.
And then at the end, and he says, like, if someone tells me these are the best years of my life, and then when the coach is like, if you drop these guys and focus on football,
Yeah.
and he's like, no, my main focus for the summer is getting tickets to Pink Floyd with my friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, he has a realization that, yeah, the most important thing right now is his friends and doing the things that he wants to do. And I think that is like, well, again, yes, this is not a serious movie. It is a nice underlying theme.
I think. And it really shows throughout the whole thing as well.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Like, they're doing stupid things, but they're living their life how they want to. You know, like,
Yeah.
they're having fun. And I think it's something to say about how they invite the younger, what is the year that Mitch and stuff are in?
Mitch, freshman.
They invite the freshmen in to like the party and to come with them and stuff, and it's just like,
Because they realise, like, who cares?
who cares?
This is our last party.
Yeah, they're making
Yeah.
the most of.
Because they're kind of like helping the freshmen get roots in like the school community. I know obviously that they're stupid kids and they don't have like good intentions, but realistically that will help like them solidify a place in, like, Mitch now has solidified a place within the school that
Definitely.
that his friends didn't get, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I also love the scene just after Carl and the other kid that we don't know the name of throw paint on the bully. Just the very short clip of them running on the roofs.
Yeah.
I think it's sick, and they're just like, wow, that was fucking great, you know, like
Yeah.
they're so excited. I like that scene.
Oh, there's also a bit thing where Don, he's like walking through the school. It's before they go to that English class and before he like flirts with their teacher, right? And he's walking. Someone walks through the door, right? This way, towards them. And as they walk through, I can't remember who it was, Randy probably. Yeah, it was Randy. Randy walks through, and then instead of like holding the door open for himself, he maneuvers his way through the door like this. And he like goes like that and then keeps walking. And I just think about it, I love when people do that anyway, I think it's so funny. But he just like maneuvers through the door and it's just
like
it's
a
perfect.
snake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I
get
got
it.
Another one. I wrote here the Kiss figures. Oh, the Kiss figurines of the members of Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
And they show up like twice. And
More than that.
Well, they show up like a couple times, but not enough for it to make sense.
No.
They're not really recurring. Like, until they pop up on the last time when they're in the trees, you're like, they've showed up a couple times.
Yeah,
But before
yeah.
that, you don't think anything of it.
It's just, well, I was confused. I don't know if they explained it.
I guess it's just supposed to be the one that made them and put them there.
I don't know if they explained it properly in the film. I just wasn't paying attention.
I think they're just supposed to be there. Unless like you said, unless I just didn't pay attention when they were like, look, someone made this. But as far as I can tell, they had no relevance. But
yeah, that was odd. And they were kind of terrifying.
I was going to say, when they're in the car opposite Cynthia and she's flirting with David, or possibly they don't call him David, but he's called David, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him David because his surname, possibly Woodman, and David is opposite, and Slater goes, I don't know exactly how he says it, but he's like, I know you.
Oh, yeah.
We had geography together.
Yeah.
He's so, like, drawn out. But it's just really cute. The way he said it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Also, I'm a bit confused, so maybe you'll be able to help me. But one of my notes is just good game, good game, good game, good game, good game, good game.
Yes.
And I don't remember.
Do you remember during the baseball scene, right at the end? This was something I was going to mention. Is the high fives. They walk along in a row of each team.
Yes.
Good game. Good game. Wait, can you do it?
Good game, 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 good game. Although they're not that enthusiastic. It's like, good game, good game, good game, good game,
good game, good game, good game, good game. Wait, clap louder. Good game, 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 good game. But they kind of do it because they're going past one by one as well. It's just
like a
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be our intro.
Blah blah blah.
Good game, good game. I wrote so many notes like.
That bit was really funny. I'm glad I put that down now because I completely forgot about it. But oh.
Oh. Okay, this wasn't actually in my questions. Oh no, yeah. I want to talk about soundtrack for a second.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like particularly like, I think it's not the most incredible, shockingly amazing soundtrack in the world, but it just really helps feel like the time.
Yeah.
Especially, I know this is probably mostly to do with poor quality of available sound at the time, but the way that it's very muffled. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the sound, all the music sounds incredibly muffled. Also,
it feels like they're listening to it.
Yeah, the soundtrack sounds really like muffled.
Almost as if they're like listening to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like everything that is,
let
me use my fancy film terms,
okay.
Everything that is non-diegetic feels diegetic in a way because it feels like they're listening to it in the film.
Definitely. I mean, this was something I wrote it down, is that while I didn't like the spanking scene, they chose No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper, and I thought that was a really good choice of song.
Yeah.
And I love that song. And then School's Out, obviously a basic option. The best one for me, I know they repeated not Slow Rider, Slow...
Can't lie, I recognise a lot of songs in the film, but I didn't remember a lot of what they were called or who they're by.
But it wasn't Slow Rider, because when Slow Rider played, me and Mum went, oh yeah, I'm a slow rider. So I know it wasn't that one, but one of them played twice. But the one I was thinking of as the most memorable scene with a song for me was the one that played Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Finish with my woman 'cause she...
I don't know, but I know the song.
Yeah, and it played, and I think that was the most memorable song in a scene for me. It didn't play Dazed and Confused, did it? The song. Do you know that song?
Probably.
You know
maybe.
the song Black Dog?
Maybe, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Led Zeppelin. It's by Led Zeppelin. Which I assume it's named after that because I think that song is from the 70s. It's not like the most notable soundtrack in the world. Yeah. It's just famous songs from the time.
Yeah.
But it just fits well. Kind of same thing I was going to say with costume design. It's nothing special. It's just fitting.
Although some of the outfits were hot.
Randy's party outfit.
True, his like tucked in shirt. That's one thing that like obviously is for the time, but them all tucking their clothes in, like all their tops and their shirts and stuff. Because I never tuck anything in. I hate tucking clothes in.
I know you do.
I actually hate it with a passion, but it does look good on them.
Yeah, true. It is just like of the time. The outfits really.
Yeah.
Ones I can't think of many honorable mentions because like they are just all really good. But the only honorable mentions I can think of is Woodman/David. I'm just gonna call him Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey is stood there, And at the beginning, I don't think he is. I think at the beginning, he's wearing like flares. But later on, he's wearing cowboy boots. And he's got his trousers tucked into his cowboy boots. And they make him look like he's like standing really weirdly.
Yeah.
And he looks wonderful. I think it's great. He also has hair that looks like a turtle shell, which I also enjoy. But I don't think, the costumes are incredible. I would say my probably favourite outfit any of them wear, other than like, I would say Randy's is on the same level, but I know we hate Jodie, but I love Jodie's all denim outfit.
Yeah.
I think she looks so good. Like in the party scene, I think she has a really good outfit.
I think all the flowy shirts, I love the flowy shirts, and I think a few of them wear flowy shirts.
I think it is a shame how throwaway the female characters are when you think about it, because it's like Simone, there's one scene of Simone like being annoying.
Yeah.
Which felt like it was just thrown in there to be like, look guys, Randy doesn't need to like his girlfriend, because Randy's girlfriend's annoying. And it's like, yeah, but there must be a reason he's with her, right? And we only see that one scene of her not with him. I mean, we probably have like another scene of them together interacting.
We do at the end.
Yeah, and there's not much though. They just walk off.
No, they walk off together.
Yeah, and then they come back and they're not together anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like,
no,
I think
she's at the field with them at the end.
But like
barely. Like they hug, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then
I just think like a lot of the female characters are so throwaway. Like Sabrina, no personality. Yeah. She's just there for Tony to talk at, and then it's like, wow, there's something going on between you two, and it's like, she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
You know? And then like, I mean, Jamie just gets with him, but then I guess they just like hook up, so it makes sense that maybe they didn't need to have a build up, but like they didn't speak to one another really.
Yeah.
And then like Jodie obviously shows up, like she has the most personality out of any of the female characters, and still has barely.
But still,
any.
Still like not much.
Kisses Randy after. I wouldn't say they had that much real. It's not a romance movie. I mean, at the end of the day.
No, but
it's
it
like
doesn't need to be like even in the end, the field.
Yeah.
And actually, one girl that does is in the little nerd trio. What's her name?
Cynthia.
Yeah, she does have some
she has
relation to them two though.
But she's supposed to be like in their little group, one of the boys.
Yeah, and if she isn't that, she's
weird.
David's.
They make fun of her.
Yeah, and she's David's like love interest in a way.
But like not even, he just like likes gingers, so he flirts with her a bit, and then
even
they all think she's weird for it, like her nerd friends.
On the field at the end, like they have the 3 guys and they have the 2 girls, and all the role of the 2 girls in that scene is to giggle at them being funny.
At them being funny, they don't have any personality.
No lines.
But then
nothing,
I guess
just them laughing.
I'm sure it is a lot influenced by how girls probably acted around guys at the time. Because from a guy's point of view, it probably seemed like that's all girls were. But I think they had a very few couple scenes from the girls' point of view, and they didn't give them much personality. And I wish they'd just thrown in a couple more scenes that were like,
definitely,
look, see guys.
Because it's not a romance.
Yeah.
There could have been shown on both sides.
The girls just could have been hanging out with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Or there could have not been those characters.
Yeah.
That would have been fine if it was just about like boyhood or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to have a mix, I think.
Yeah.
And they just kind of failed at it. Like we lost view of a lot of the characters from the girls hazing. Sorry. See. Yeah. And I think that is a shame.
Have you got anything else?
Do you want anything about set?
Not really. The cars are nice.
Yeah. I really like the inside of the Emporium.
Yeah, that's true actually.
I think it's got a good mix of like, look, see, it's not like a club. It's just like
the set, like the costume and like the props and whatever. It all works together to create the time of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like stand out-ish about it for me personally. It just all fits in together to create a good like visual for the film.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is something that like, you know how a lot of people at the moment, you might not have seen this because of Wicked coming out and everything. We've been talking about how like the Technicolor in Wizard of Oz is like nothing we would have now. It's like so much more over the top. I mean, that's really nice. I kind of think that about this movie, just like 70s movies or movies from the 90s imitating the 70s.
Yeah.
And they are so colourful.
True.
And now, even when we have colourful movies, I think either it's all like a colour or something, rather than just being generally full of colour. And then second of all, I think something about the increase in quality takes away from the colourfulness.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
also, like...
lack of detail because of poor quality.
A lot of films now that are colourful are using colour to, like, mean something specific.
Yeah.
Not just, like, having a colourful movie.
Just like, look, everyone's wearing a lot of colour, and
Yeah,
all the
and
cars
it's
are
just
colourful,
like-
and the buildings are colourful.
And it's just like, because that's the time that it is, and like, that's just what it's like, or that's what it is in the movie. It's nothing's like that without it
But like
having some like deeper meaning. Like this is just colourful because of the time, and it's just nice, and it just works.
it adds to the feeling you can imagine the teenager having as well. It's like summer broke up, you're adults now, and you get to have one summer of doing whatever you want, and it's like bright and colourful, and they're going to this party and they're all wearing colourful clothes, and there's music and there's alcohol. Oh, I also really like the line that I mentioned, because it's an iconic line that my dad mentioned. Look, I only came here for two things: drink alcohol and kick ass. And we're almost out of alcohol, and it's like foreshadowing that Mike's gonna fight with him, but it is like it is funny. It's a good line. Yeah. But obviously I hate that guy. Forgot his name already because Clint.
Oh yeah,
Clint.
You and your mum were talking about Clint, and I was like, Clint? Who's Clint? So I googled him, and I know which one you're on.
The one who scrapped with Mike, and that bit made me sad. It genuinely did. For a second, I was really like, Mike was the one who was talking about how he wanted to like go to the party and make new experiences, and Tony didn't. And then Tony got to go off with a girl, and Mike got beat up. He seemed to get over it. Yeah. But it was sad. Yeah. Poor Cynthia didn't get to go off with the guy.
Very true.
She looked after Mike while Tony went in, possibly had sex with somebody far too young for him.
4 years.
4-year age gap. Yeah, but 4-year age gap when you're the oldest and you're 18 is bad. It is bad. Yeah. 18 or 14 is no. Vomit in my mouth type of situation going on there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, if we're not got anything else to say, then we should move on to our letterbox reviews, Ted.
I can't think of anything else to say.
Neither can I.
Other than just, like, I don't know. I think, I didn't realise how much more I had to say about characters.
Yeah, no, neither.
I really thought, like, there's so many good scenes in this movie, but characters are, like, they're so key. There's so many...
Well, you couldn't have a film without characters.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, there's you could.
Maybe.
You could. It just would be boring.
There's a movie, I can't remember what it's called, but it was made in, like, the 1930s, maybe. That doesn't seem right. I think so. And it's literally just, like, different clips of the rain and weather.
That's what I was about to say, is you could just have scenery.
Yeah.
It'd be boring.
This place.
It would be boring, but you don't need characters.
No.
Didn't you say that was that horror movie? It was just sounds.
Just sounds.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The only movie I can kind of think you're talking about is Skinamarink, but that's not just sounds.
I'm put some Germaline on my hands,
so they don't hurt.
Yeah, unless this hurts.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about my letterbox review.
Talk about your letterbox review. I haven't actually reviewed it yet. But
you reviewed it the first, like, when you remembered it, but not from rewatching it.
But I have written down what I'm going to review.
Well, I give it 4 stars.
Yeah.
I do like this movie. There is other movies I prefer, though. And that is purely the reason why I gave it 4 stars. Just because I know that even though my letterbox reviews don't really add up with each other.
Oh, yeah, me neither. There's so many I prefer way more that I gave, like, 3 to. The ones I gave 5. Sometimes.
It's just like, yeah. But my review was, and as I mentioned, I'm not very, but that Mitch looks like young Riley from Hive Mind. That was my review.
Okay, so can you pull me up on your phone and let me look at it, because...
Yeah, one sec.
Thanks. My bad, guys. My phone will die.
It
says my mother will bring up this movie at any given chance. And 4.5 stars. I'd like to say that I am keeping the 4.5 stars. However, I'm changing my review to, I'd say that I was born in the wrong era, but these people would all hate crime me. Because
that's true.
The thing is, I want to marry Michelle.
Fair.
But I think that low-key, Pickford could fuck me up.
Yeah.
He's not big, but he looks bigger than me. And Michelle wouldn't say anything either. Even if she was into me, she'd just play 2 lines on a guitar.
Yeah.
And sit in silence, because her character is just supposed to be attractive and mysterious. And she's really good at it, and I would do anything for her, including get murdered by Pickford. And I think honestly...
Seeing as you're taking her, can I take Randy then? Because he is the most attractive male that there is.
Yeah. I do love Randy. I think Randy is so fit, but the thing is, I do think that Michelle is hotter. And I think Michelle could definitely be a lesbian. And I think Randy could definitely be bisexual.
Nice one. We're both in the clear.
I think she could be a lesbian. She doesn't seem particularly interested in Pickford.
That's true.
She's just there and she like sits behind him at some point.
That's true.
Those people would hate crime. But then in other ways, I'm like, with the pot smoking and the general carefree attitude and the music,
That's true.
I think I would low-key be at my prime in the 70s, in another universe where the 70s liked lesbians.
I feel like I would be too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think you'd be more stressed.
Then now?
No, not the now, the me.
Oh, then you, yeah.
In that situation. Because I think in that different universe...
Is it, in this hypothetical,
Yeah.
have we already lived our life to this point here now, in this life?
If we had, I'd be removed of all stress. Because think about how much easier life seemed for them than it does for us.
Yeah,
Obviously
but-
not with the bullying of the youngest. But
Yeah,
say
other aspects
we get
of it would
put
be
in
more scary.
And we are just like friends.
Although
with
we
the
are the
male friend
seniors.
group of the seniors.
True.
We would be relieved of all stress.
I wouldn't be worried.
Who cares? I just went from having a
pick on
huge
them.
presentation due, to getting to pick on, I don't know, Pickford.
Yeah.
Oh, he has too many teeth. And and like, I'll be like, hey David, your hair looks like a toe. Look where you tapped it. Stop doing that.
That makes such a pretty pattern.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think we're done.
I think we're done too. I reckon.
This is probably going to end up being shorter, but you know what? It's the first episode, you know.
No, I think we
and
had some like meaningful
It's
stuff.
late. This may have been a bit of a mess. We didn't really follow. Next time I'm going to try and make like a page for each question and put my notes in
I'm not going to do
sections.
that, but I will.
You know, well, that's fine.
But I will organise it better.
I really like this movie. I hope
Me
you really
too.
like this movie.
I did.
Um,
Next. I'm so excited.
Next, we will be recording again. Day after tomorrow,
Yep.
we will be watching Die Hard 1 and 2.
Yes.
Hopefully, if we can fit them both. Since it's Christmas nearly. And they are my favourite Christmas movie. Well, no, my favourite Christmas movie is The Grinch.
I'd like to
But-
preface before that I have tried to watch these movies. I just don't remember them and I did not pay attention. So it will be my first time watching them, basically.
We didn't even...
No, I have tried to watch the first one, I think, before.
Yeah, with me.
No, a different time.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say we only got half hour in.
No, a different time.
But they are my favourite Christmas movies. Again, we will be watching with my mother.
Yep, as
Yeah,
always.
As always. Oh, and my dad.
Oh, yeah.
My mother and my dad. And so it'll be great. We are losers and we watch all our movies with my parents.
Not mine.
So I hope you enjoyed the first episode. I feel like I'm away from it now. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Press Pause. Very relevant because we did press pause several times.
So many times.
So many
we
times.
We pressed pause enough time to have dinner.
Have dinner and make hot chocolate during this movie, and also for Mum to tell us facts and explain things that we knew to us.
True.
But thank you, Mum. I appreciated it.
True.
True. Anyway, we are GRZLY.
Bye.
And see you next time for Die Hard 1 and 2 Christmas special. Bye.
Bye. Is it that one?
Yeah.
Was it that one?
No.
It's that one.
Yeah.